This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Sunset Safari here in the western fringes of the Greater Kruger National Park. There's a bird somewhere. Did you see it? Yes. Is it a ground scraper thrush? No. Yes. Could it be? Maybe. While you look, let me tell you that we'd love to hear from you. You can use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. Otherwise, of course, you may use the YouTube chat stream to tell us or speak to us, ask us anything you like. I think that was a ground scraper thrush, everybody. Anybody, we will try and find it again. My name is James Hendry. Sébastien Rombi is on camera, the greatest French Gabonese Air Force pilot in history. He's not flying today, of course, he's just on camera. That was quite a frenetic start for a bird, everybody. It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be a fairly calm start. We are joined by the Masimara, of course, as David Gitu says it. I don't think David's on drive this afternoon. And, of course, we'll be joined by the inimitable Sydney. There it is. It's just landed. You see it there? I'm not sure you'll get it in amongst the grass, the waving Aristida grass. There, they're hopping up and down. Yes, you're in the right region there. Well, there we go. A ground scraper thrush. The only other thing it could be is a dusky lark, but I've never seen one here. That is it. The ground scraper thrush, I tell you with great relief. Phew! It's a blustery day today. I'm going to guess the temperature's around about 24 degrees Celsius or so, around about 74 Fahrenheit, plus minus. And it has been, well, pretty chilly this morning, but very pleasant other than this driving August wind that is assailing us at the moment. That's not unusual for this time of the year. Now, I believe that Sydney is heading towards Beefleshoek Dam for a surprise that he is going to tell you about.
A very, very good afternoon and welcome to the beginning of our afternoon drive. I am now with Hosanna. Hosanna is with Tingana somewhere around here, and I hope this is going to be a lovely afternoon of some spotted cats. My name is Sydney and I am traveling with Senzo, who is my operator camera this afternoon. We are both going to be with you, and for your questions and comments, you can follow us on Twitter, hashtag SafariLive. You can also follow us on YouTube chat stream. This is a very, very fantastic sighting already. You can see there that Hosanna is very much inquisitive, not very relaxed, looking ahead in between this dry riverbed. I know Tingana is somewhere in the area. Maybe they are at a distance of less than 250 meters apart. They have been together and not long time ago at the water hole here. They just got water now. Beautiful. Look at that pink nose. Look now, the ears are just moving around. He's trying to check. So I don't know what is their mission together, both father and a son. I heard some noise as well. I think it's one of the birds. Jafta, Hosanna is one of the very much peaceful and not that very shy. Every time I come across Hosanna, I know I will have a great sighting. Not that very shy. Yes, on foot is getting shy these days, but on a game drive, I prefer Hosanna. This is one of my favorite cats, although my favorite cat here in Juma is Tingana. I will see him as well shortly after this sighting. I'm gonna go and check because he's also right in this area. So there's one of the birds, not too sure. It seems like it is the fork-tailed drongo confusing Hosanna at the moment as he's trying to mimic some of the other birds' calls. It is very much windy at the moment. You can see the grasses are just moving all directions. these very big cats can hide easily. So while I'm going to try and reallocate Tingana in the area here, Taylor in Masai Mara has got some hippopotamus. I haven't seen the hippopotamus for a while, but I hope you will enjoy the hippos with Taylor.
Good afternoon and welcome to the banks of the Mara River, where we have got some hippos lazing about. Hello, lazy hippos. I wish I was a hippo today, but I'm not. I'm a human. My name is Taylor McCurdy, and on camera with me today is still Archie. He's still stuck with me. He's desperately tried to make an attempt to escape, but he can't. There's no one else. Anyways, remember this is a live and interactive safari, so I look forward to answering all of your questions. Oh, and perfect timing. Thank you very much, hippos. So Archie and I have been sitting with this pod of hippos for, I don't know how long, 40 minutes? 45 minutes or so, and they've all been sleeping, doing absolutely nothing. And we actually had quite a good day. In fact, we had some crossings a little bit earlier, and we had the lion. If you were watching the show this morning, we had a lion at main crossings. I thought, well, you know what? Let's just spend a bit of time with the hippos. Maybe they get up. And finally, just as you arrived, you all joined me on this safari. They did. They've all woken up now from their afternoon slumber. And it's quite normal for hippos, especially during the cooler seasons, is that they will leave the water where they spend most of the day and sunbathe themselves on the banks. It hasn't actually been particularly hot at all. What's happened to that hippo's foot? Can you see that? Very interesting. I don't know if it was an injury or if it's just a lack of melanin. Some pigment there. Okay. Doesn't seem to be too bothered though. Maybe it was doing a bit of fire walking and perhaps burnt its foot. No, I'm just joking. Hippos, of course, don't go fire walking. We as humans do that. But I like the way that they're all going in one at a time. And these are young hippos. These two that we're seeing going in now. I would say they might be between maybe about 2.5 years old, somewhere around there. They are very sweet. Oh, you're not going in very gracefully now, are you? How can you not think that that is a cute creature? Oh, that's a precious little animal. And this is one of their favorite spots on the Mara River. We're further downstream on the Mara River compared to where we were this morning, and the water is, well, it's flowing quite quickly, but it's quite shallow around here. There's lots of rocks, and the hippos like that because they can also just rest up on the rocks. If they are not too keen on venturing outside onto the banks, they can just spend most of their day in the water, which is exactly what they've been doing. And it's quite a big pod, although I'm trying to work out where the rest of them gone. There were a whole lot more a bit earlier. Oh, hello. 2 adults not quite ready to wake up. Hello, Lindsay. Great to hear from you. Yes, you're quite correct in thinking that hippos can indeed get quite bad sunburn. What's wrong, Archie? My collar. Archie has now told me off. I'll get more into that, Lindsay, because what happened was my collar like this. I've got this new little nifty camera over here so I can see. Look, I'm looking at myself now, see? So it was like this, and Archie didn't tell me before the show started. He's supposed to tell me when my hair is untidy, when my collar's not looking good. Now he's laughing. Yeah, it's like he does it on purpose. Apologies, everybody. I'm now nice and neat. Should I do all the buttons up today? Yes, today we're professional. And all... I don't even know if I can do it. I need a tie now. I totally need a tie. Anyways, so Lindsay, yes, hippos have to stay in the water, firstly to keep their skin nice and moist, because otherwise they can, get cracked quite badly. But they have got a way to try and, of course, solve this problem themselves. And it's a substance called hipposudoric acid, or also known as blood sweat. So sometimes it can look like hippos are almost bleeding, I suppose, little red droplets covering their bodies. But it's just that oily secretion. And basically what that does is it has a mild sunblock in it, and it also has an antiseptic. So not only do hippos get sunburned can get sunburned quite badly, but I mean at the moment the sun's not particularly harsh. Hippos get into fights quite often. Look at all those cuts. Can you see them? Just superficial wounds though. They've got quite a thin epidermis, so that does allow for frequent abrasions, and hippos can be quite rough and boisterous with one another. Typically, you'll see younger bulls that almost look like, I kind of like to describe it like they've been through a paper shredder. They're just filled with cuts. But with that hipposudoric acid, the blood sweat, it does help them heal a little bit better. Can you imagine when you are living out in murky waters, like here in the Mara, and with so many different animals living in that river, defecating, urinating, animals dying and rotting in there, infection of course can come about, but they've got a number of different ways to combat it, and of course hippos are very tough creatures. Wonderful. But we'll move on now. We'll see what else we can find. Off you go back to South Africa with Sydney, who, well, is the man of the match by finding Hosana.
I have got Hosana here, who is now slowly coming down the termite mound. Not too sure what Hosana is up to, but I have noticed that there is something exciting Hosana at the moment. I'm not too sure if the excitement is about Tingana, who is in the area, or there is something else he spotted as he was moving the ears and he was concentrating all directions on the past few minutes. Look at that. This is beautiful. Rosalind, the leopard's eyesight is very much good. They can see way better than we do. These animals can see approximately more than even 4 or 7 times than we do. And they can also see at night. Look at that. He is very much inquisitive. The ears are moving and the head is concentrating. You can see there's something exciting him. Not too sure, because every time I'm with Tingana, if there's something coming, he's the one to see it first. I always see animals last. Maybe he's trying to investigate something. But when I got here to the dam, I have noticed there has been quite a lot of antelopes here, including the impalas in the area. Maybe one of these antelopes might fascinate him for some kind of actions. Very much relaxed. Can you see him very well, Desenzo? Or must I pull back a little bit? Okay, thank you. I was just asking my camera operator if he's got a very good visual where he is now, but he said it's fine. So I'm just going to be guided by the ears and see what these ears are concentrating on together with the eyes. At the end, I will see who is coming in the dam here. I'm not very far away from the dam. He's just on the northern side of the dam. So other animals are using the very same dam for drinking purposes. So when he's here, as usual, Hosana is very used to hide by the dam, waiting for animals to come drink. That is what he's doing when he's by the other side, by Viotella Pen. Look at that. He's trying to sniff there. He's trying to get some information. So now I'm just going to try and reverse so that we can give you a better visual. I will try by all means just to position myself so that Senzo can be able to show us a good sighting. I can't see him where I am now, but Senzo can see him moving towards direction. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to follow him. This is very much interesting. He might lead us to Tingana because they were together, and Tingana, according to the tracks, went towards that direction. So I'm gonna go around here along the dry river beds and come out in few meters from here so that I can meet him probably somewhere up there. I didn't get the comment very well, but I'm just trying here now to quickly position myself. Yes, he's trying to pick up all the different smell, and by doing that, he's even going to know if the other leopard has been here before him. He's going to know how many days ago. So the smell helps these animals to know a lot about each other. It's something which is called flamen. It's also called to gramize. He's going to go down and pick up these air particles and take them right to the brain through the Jacobson organ. And from there, he's going to know about the presence of the other animals, the age of the other animals, and their strength. Interesting. Animals are so well gifted. He just got disappeared. Oh, here he is. I can see him there. Can you see him, Senzo? He's right here. It's just in between the termite one. Can you see him here? There he is. So it's quite a very beautiful sighting from here where I am. But he's just going cover by cover. So I'm not too sure if there's anything he has spotted right ahead of us that we cannot see. You can see he's just going cover by cover. Look at him now. This is quite a very lovely spotted cat. Just want to try and read his internal mood. So now let's go to James. James has got a fabulous lion sighting as I am talking to you now. Let's see how the lions are doing. I know lions can sleep all day long. Let's see. Maybe they're up.
Yes, well, sleeping all day they are, but it is their special day, of course. It is International World Lion Day. And, well, here they are on their special day, having a little sleep. Now, interestingly, we've got Amber Eyes over there. That's who you're looking at there. Now, for those of you who are perhaps new viewers, Amber Eyes is a special lioness out here, mainly because she's the easiest one to identify, and she's also the biggest lioness in the pride. And she's called Amber Eyes, interestingly enough, because she's got bright green eyes. That's obviously a lie. She has bright orange eyes. And she has recently had some cubs and then recently lost them again. We don't really know. Oh, we do know how actually she lost them to some hyenas. As far as we know, we don't know of any other offspring that she may have had. I mean, she may have had a couple of others, but we don't know about them. So here we have the Nkuhuma Pride, enjoying the relative warmth of the afternoon, sheltering from the wind. They are not going to move for a little while, I'm pretty sure, in fact probably for quite a long while. And so while we are going to be here for a little bit, we're not going to stay here for the whole drive. Mr. Nom, you say they look adorable. I've always thought that adorable was not an adjective I'd use to describe lions. It might just be that that's unkind of me. But I think adorable is quite a strong term for them. They are certainly very interesting. They look relatively adorable while they're having a snooze like this, I suppose. We can give them adorable, if you like. You can hear the wind, no birds calling at all. So we'll sit here probably for the next 20 minutes to half an hour or so, and then we're going to go and see if we can find Thandi and Tlalamba. We'd love to have them in our TV show tomorrow. That is, of course, SafariLive The Gauntlet, Episode 3. And you can watch that, Nat Geo Wild, if you like, at 11 p.m. and watch the advertisements in between, or you can just watch it on the program you're watching it on now. Don't tell anyone I said that. That's 11 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States. Hello, darling. I don't know, Mr. Nom. I don't know who Amber Eyes' mother is, I'm afraid, so I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure that anyone does. I mean, there are a lot of our viewers who know these lions extremely well, but I don't know that we know who dear Amber's mother is. She was very quickly called Amber Eyes after we discovered her eyes. I quite like the name Orange Eyes, simply because Amber Eyes sounds like a character from a soap opera, which I suppose, I suppose these Nkuhumas are characters from a soap opera of sorts. Oh, hello, my dear. Another one's looked up there quickly, Seb. There's major action going on here. We've had some very flat cats today. I had Tingana for 2.5 hours this morning, fast asleep. I've got to tell you, it's not hugely easy to make it entertaining when you have a completely flat kitty. But we do what we can, you know, and your questions and comments do help. Sydney, of course, has got a cat on the move.
I am so very much happy at the moment, as the leopard we are seeing now is not the one we saw earlier. This is a completely different animal. Look at the nose. The nose is dark here on this one. You can see this is Tingana. I am not with Hosanna anymore. Hosanna, the pink nose, is right behind me at the moment, moving, trying to come. Not too sure if his intention is to come and join Tingana at the moment. I have managed to win the battle. I got Tingana with me right now. He's very much relaxed. So look at that. So how I distinguish between Hosanna and Tingana is the ears. That ear, if you can check, that ear has got a cut a little bit, which is much more brown. 2 cuts. Those 2 cuts, notches, is the one that tells me every time this is Tingana. Linda, I am also very much happy this afternoon. It's a very lucky afternoon. The wind is blowing too much. I didn't trek too much, as they've just been to the dam, so they were not very far away from the dam. Look at that. Beautiful. Did you hear that? I just didn't want to interfere on that kind of a sowing. That was lovely. That is Tingana. That makes me feel that I am in the jungle. Jen, the animals, they are so very much well sophisticated. What I was talking about earlier with regards to flamen or to grammice, the animals can be able to detect their biological parents from the sense of smell. So what they do is that they come, they can be able to sniff and be able to detect their own genes. Let me give you a very good example so that you can understand how it works. If you do what is called an artificial insemination to the cats, such as the lions, and you introduce the female back to the wild, soon as that female gives birth, the biological father, the territorial holder, is going to detect that I am not the biological father of this little one, and that is when the territorial holder is going to kill the babies. So the cats are so very much well gifted, they can be able to detect their own gene from the olfactory communication, which is just something which is done through their body scent. So the olfactory communication is just a communication which takes place from the secretion of various skin glands, which include urine and droppings. Yes, it does confuse quite a lot of people, because even snakes, when they're crawling with their tongues in and out, they use the same method of absorbing the air particles to the roof of the mouth, and they transfer it from the roof of the mouth to the olfactory nerve, which is like a thin tube connected to the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is a type of brain which will then explain everything about the genes. Look at what he's doing now. He's about to clean himself. You can see he's trying to moisturize the front leg there. They use that part in order to clean themselves. Nina Mu, the leopards, they do very well here in this side of the Kruger National Park, specifically the western side of the Kruger National Park, because they have got a very good diet. There is quite a lot of animals available. Animals of the size they target the most when it comes to hunting activities. Apart from the food availability, the habitat as well, there's quite a lot of big trees, which helps them to hide away the food to avoid competition with some other scavengers such as the hyenas. So the area is well equipped with both food and also trees for them to hide food. Look at that now. He's trying to move towards the northern side of the game reserve. I am going to follow him because on the other side, parallel to Tingana, I swear I left Hosana heading to. Maybe in a very short space they might meet or they might avoid each other. Not too sure what is going to happen and what is their both intentions at the moment. Is just walking very much smoothly. So the cats, how they walk is interesting because they don't make any noise. This is a lovely afternoon for the cats. James is still now very patient by the lion sighting. Let's see how the lions are doing at the moment. Maybe there is some activities on the other side.
No, zero activities. As you can see there, Sydney's description of activities would be extremely, well, I wouldn't say poor here, I'd say ill-used. There is very little activities going on here at all. A bit of breathing, that's about it. Now, Margarita, your question is interesting because it brings up a relatively large misconception that people have about lions. There is no dominant male in the Nkuhuma pride. There is no dominant, well, very few times will you have a dominant male within a pride. The males are largely extra to the pride. So we've got the Avoca boys now, who have taken over this territory. Into the ambit of the Avoca boys falls the Nkuhuma pride, most likely the Torchwood pride, possibly the Styx pride, and possibly the Talamati pride. So all of those prides are going to be, one hesitates to use the word dominated, but certainly looked after by the Avoca Boy coalition of 3 male lions. None of them, or none of those 3 male lions is going to spend all of the time with one pride. And so there is no dominant male lion in this pride, and it's a common misconception that every pride has a dominant male lion, possibly born of the Lion King. Most of biology's great lies were told during the Lion King, which stuck very firmly to the old adage of why let facts get in the way of a good story. And it was a good story. But there is no dominant male in a pride normally. Yes, you can find incidents where you'll have one pride with one big male lion who spends all his time with the pride, and because he's not big enough on his own, he doesn't have a coalition, so he can't take other prides. He can't expand his territory. And interestingly, in the Sausage Tree Pride of the Maasai, there is the one big male, Kipuli, and the two youngsters, and they all seem to spend all of their time with the Sausage Tree Pride. They may change that as the coalition between the three of them solidifies, so they will probably go ranging and try and find another pride to be within their ambit, possibly the Owinos or the Salt Lick Pride, or even the Egyptian Goose Pride, except I think they've already got males. So that's how it works. And none of the Evoker boys are here right now. We've got one male lion here. He's a 2-year-old male lying somewhere in this carpet of tawny. In the meantime, while we sit here waiting for something to happen, Sydney's cats are on the move.
I am now trying to have a better sighting. I am not relocating him. I have got him. I'm just trying to have a better sighting at the moment. I can see now that he is heading towards my direction. Senzo can see him very well now. Look at him coming. This is beautiful. He's heading towards the northern side of the game reserve. He might enter a private property at any time from now, as I can see that his direction of movement is heading right towards there. Alan, the big cats, yes, they do get sick sometimes, and that is one of the problems affecting the big cats. Look at him. This is fantastic. He is listening to me. He's also concentrating on something. I heard an alarm call just now. One of the small animals just gave an alarm call. So now I can see that he is coming towards this direction. He is right here. This is beautiful. Look at that. This cat is beautiful. I haven't been so very close with Tingana like this. He is looking very good. Look, let's see what he's thinking about to do now. I can see he's leaving the droppings, the scat now. Look at that. So those are the kind of droppings we've got to be careful. We don't have to handle them with bare hands. If we do that, we pick up a lot of zoonotic diseases. Those diseases which can be transmitted from animals to human beings. Look at that. Right on top of the termite mound, in front of us. This is lovely. He is looking at Hosanna at the moment. Alan, this is so cool. This is one of the best sighting ever. I can see that where he is now, he is trying to investigate Hosanna, and he is looking at the direction where Hosanna is coming from. Hosanna is somewhere heading towards the very same direction where Tingana is at the moment. I can see I'm not alone in the area. There's some other vehicles now having a sighting with Hosanna, not very far away from me. Joy, indeed, Tingana is posing for us. It's like Tingana knows that yesterday I have been driving all over this place looking for the cats and I saw nothing. So today is my day. You can see they're even giving me more chance for better pictures. This is fantastic. Look at that with the reflection of the sun. This is stunning. I hope Hosanna is going to come here right now. Jennifer, as time goes on, Hosanna is going to gain more strength, while Tingana is going to lose more strength from old age. The chances of Hosanna to kick out Tingana are very much high. But what I like about these two is the dependency. Yes, Tingana, I have seen that is also killing some of the animals for himself, but the fact that Tingana is getting benefit, food a lot from Hosanna, it shows that these animals, they are staying together and they have not yet started competing for the territory. Once the fightings amongst the territory start, it means Hosanna will have to depend on himself, while Tingana also has to do that. Both Tingana and Hosanna are very much inquisitive. You can see they always move their head very fast and ears very fast to try and get to what is happening. While we are here with Tingana now waiting to see what is going to happen, if Hosanna is going to come join, let's go back to James and see how the lions are doing. Lions, I call them lie on because they can just lie down all day long.
Yes, lying on they are doing. We are not going to be here after this segment, everybody. We're going to move on, see if we can find Tande and Tlalamba. We will come back here for the darkness and see what they do. But they're not going to be doing anything other than they're doing now. That's quite fun. Amber Eyes is being stroked in the face by her friend. It looks very comfortable, actually. I'm quite jealous. I'd quite like to go and lie there. Was it Poppy? Purdy?
I'm not sure.
Prendy? Sebi, right, okay. Sebi, the birds do, yes, they will alarm call if they come across the lions, but remember the lions have been here since around about 7 o'clock this morning, which means that any territorial birds in this area have seen them. Also, so they would have shouted and then moved off. Also, the wind is so strong that most birds are not doing a great deal of flying right now. Small birds, they let go of their perches now, could quite easily end up most of the way to Cape Town before they've realized they've let go of their perches. So this northwesterly wind is not going to blow them to Cape Town, is it? It's going to blow them down to Mozambique. It's just unlikely that they're going to fly around much in weather like this. So yes, they will alarm call for them. The lions have been here a long time though, so the territorial birds of this area will have stopped calling at them now. And, well, all is peaceful, as you can see. Very peaceful indeed. One has rolled over. I just need to stop speaking a moment so that my heart rate can go down after all the excitement. That's a very good question, Matthew. Thank you very much. You're aged just 9 years old. The territory of a lion in this particular area, in other words, the Nkuhuma Pride, it's probably about 10,000 acres, so 3,000 hectares or so. In fact, it's more than that. I'll work it out for you. I had worked this out many times and now I've seemed to have forgotten. So let's say half of Arathusa, which is about 800 hectares, and then I'll do it in acres for you. The whole of Djuma, which is 1,200, so that's 2,000 acres, plus another half of Torchwood Odd, another 800. Yeah, a bit of Buffelshoek there. Yeah, look, I'm going to say 3,000 hectares plus minus 10,000 acres is the size of the Ninkapuma Pride's territory. Right, let's go across to father and son now.
I have got now both Hosanna and Tingana. They are both at a distance of less than 25 meters apart. What we are seeing now there is Hosanna trying to look around. Not too sure if Hosanna already reallocated Tingana, but I can see that Tingana is right here. There is Tingana on top of the termite mound. So they are just very close to each other, and I can see other vehicles are also trying to approach. And this is beautiful. Safari Tingana is way much bigger than Hosanna. Hosanna is still very much young. Even the body size is still very much small. You will see they might now meet and stand together, or they might chase each other. I'm not too sure what's going to happen. I am going to watch what is going to happen here. Maybe something very interesting is going to happen at any time. He is now slowly approaching, you can see. Maybe the son is going to kick out the father, or the father might kick out the son. We might see something interesting here. But now I can see that Hosanna is just by the drainage line trying to do something. So you can see that Tingana is very much stationary, and Hosanna is coming towards that direction. You can see the spots there. He just got an audio from one of the vehicles. Let's see his intentions. Jinsky, yes, these animals, they like to play with the dead, but until a certain period. Once they get 18, 22 months, they get kicked off, and they must have to now start their own life. That is how it works in the jungle. It's only now that they can play together with the dead, but as time goes on, you will see he's going to have to be very independent and do things at his own. Look, now he's coming close. He's coming close now, and then he's checking there. The wind is blowing all directions. You can see he's trying to sniff. Let's just see what is the next plan for Hosanna. I'm not too sure what he's trying to sniff, what he's trying to do there in the drainage line or the dry riverbed. There is Hosanna moving towards the southern direction. I think he's stepped on a thorn. He's now avoiding Tingana. And Tingana is right looking at what Hosanna is doing. Senzo, if you can just check Hosanna there, Tingana, you can see that Tingana is very sure and knows what Hosanna is trying to do. It's right on Hosanna. It's looking at him. You can see him walking. Jennifer, Tingana, I am sure he is not that very much worried because I haven't seen any of the big fight amongst them. Tingana and Hosanna, they are interacting almost every day. Every time there's a kill, you will see Tingana going there and taking away the kill. But Hosanna seems not worried about that, as I've never seen them fighting against each other. But as time goes on, the problems are going to start. That is normal. This is very much interesting. Look now, he's coming down. Let's just see what is his next plan. Now he's going all the way down. It seems like he doesn't know where he's going because he's just going back, forward, backwards, forward, backwards. So now we are back at Tingana. So Tingana can see that Hosana is trying to mark the territory, scratching against one of the trees there. Yeah, I don't think there will be any close contact at this moment, as I can see that Hosana is now avoiding Tingana by all means. So FC, can I just please go on flare just to see how the sports pattern of this Tingana is like? Look at how this cat looks by the flare. This is beautiful. You can see the sports pattern. It looks like a bark of the marula tree. Look at that. Old marula tree looks like that. So I can see here that next to me, I have got Hosana coming now, nice and clear. So we're going to go back to normal now. We are going to leave flare now to go back to normal. I have got Hosana. You can see Hosana is approaching. This is Hosana now, nice and clear. It's trying to look something up in this tree. This is happening right next to me. This is interesting. Look at this. This is beautiful. I thought these two cats are not going to have a close contact, but Hosana proved me wrong. Hosana proved me wrong. A very, very good afternoon and welcome to the special broadcast. My name is Sydney and I am traveling with Senzo, who is my camera operator. We are now having a very special sighting. I have got two cats here with me, his father and his son. They are charging each other. Look at that. You can see the father is getting irritated. Listen to that. You can hear the father is growling. This is beautiful. You can see that the cats, they don't live like we do. Soon as the cat starts to get 18 to 20 something month old, fighting starts and then they kicked each other off the territory. Animals are territorial. So that is Tingana. Tingana is the father of the one just we saw now in the name of Hosana. Hosana is a name. It's a Shangan. Maybe the father is so worried about Hosana given that title of a chief in his territory. It seems like Hosana went past the termite mound after he has been given vigorous instruction by the father not to come too close. I can see Hosana is at the back, heading towards the northern side. Hosana has been very much submissive. This is so very beautiful, and I like Hosana because he has been so very much submissive. He did not even counter-charge the father. The father tried to charge him, gave him instruction. He just obeyed instructions and left, which is totally not fair for the father today to charge Hosanna, as the very same Tingana we are watching now is depending a lot on Hosanna's kill. I have witnessed quite a lot of meat I have noticed quite a lot of meat which has been taken from the prey caught by Hosanna. Look at that. Thank you very, very much for joining us on this very special broadcast. This brought us to the end of the special broadcast. We are now heading back to the normal afternoon game drive. Welcome to the beginning again. So now let's go to James. James is driving somewhere. I'm not too sure if he's still by the Lion area, but let's see his plans.
I'm driving along the Mati drainage system, aka riverbed. I'm going to try and get rid of drainage system from my vocabulary today. And we have found a Nyala, and that Nyala didn't really want to be on screen, so he's wandered off behind the bushes there where he thinks we cannot see him. We can see him. We can see you. That's better. Yes, your hiding skills are improving. Almost invisible. Well done. Good. That, of course, is not camouflage, everybody. That's hiding. Very distinct. Now, we've left the lions, as I said we were going to, simply because we would rather try and find Tandi and Tlalamba while it's still a bit warm and while the light is up, and then we'll go back to the lions a little bit later. Extremely exciting, of course, to have two male leopards in such close proximity to each other. The ultimate socialite, Hosanna, and the old duke who, well, like many old men, just wants to be left alone, I think. We were just saying on the car here, what would happen if they started grooming each other? Can you imagine how the internet would explode? I would have had to rush there to have a look as well. It would have been very heartwarming to watch a little session of father-son bonding going on there. That really would have been something for the books. The record books, I mean. Textbooks as well. Researchers would come running from all over the place. Minamu, that's got all to do with where they hunt and the ideal habitat for their hunting. You could see those lions, and this is the best time of the year to understand it. You saw those lions lying in the grass. The grass is exactly the same color as the lions. Yeah, so they are perfectly camouflaged when they're moving through the winter grass. And that's exactly what they want to be. They do not want to be obvious in winter. In summer, when everything's green, the color's not so important, of course, because they can just disguise themselves behind a bush. Or not disguise themselves, they can just hide. So they use ambush with hiding rather than disguise, which is what they're doing now. A leopard would move through this kind of vegetation here. More dappled light. They would not use necessarily the grassland. Sorry, let me go back a little bit here. And in fact, they'd probably avoid grassland areas and grassy areas and spend more time in dappled light like you'd find along this drainage line. I've done it again, along this riverbed. So there were some squirrels in there, that's why I stopped. But they've gone away now. And that's why one has spots and one does not. And of course, if we think of something like a jaguar, well, a jaguar lives in the Amazon rainforest, and of course there's lots of spotting on those cats there, and in fact in many forest-dwelling cats around the world, even the smaller ones. Let's head across now to Sydney again with his leopards again.
I am still here. I have got Tingana and Hosanna with me. Now, Tingana has decided to change the direction of looking. He's now looking towards the northern side, and that is an indication that the Hosanna is heading towards that direction. He's still looking at Hosanna. Maybe the instruction he was giving earlier while he was growling was, Hosanna, go and catch something. I'm hungry. I want to eat. Because he is depending on Hosanna a lot these days. So I will see, maybe Tingana's going to follow Hosanna, or this might be the end of them together today. He is very much relaxed. You can see he's not worried. Gary, these animals are so very much used to our vehicles. They are used to us. These days, when they are relaxed like that, they're not worried about anything. If you come to this termite mound, when they are aware of your presence, they are going to relax like this. Even when not aware of your presence, they will do like this. Let me just give you a good example. If you come to a sighting where the animals are displaying some hunting activities, they are not going to stop hunting because of your presence. They will still carry on hunting, meaning that they know you are not going to interfere with what they are doing. So animals don't get worried about our presence at all. So you can even see now that the tail is down. The mood of this animal is to relax now. So he might be here for quite some time during this afternoon. He has already been to the water hole, and when looking at his stomach, I can see that he's not very hungry. So I'm just gonna try by all means to move and have a better position, as I can see that from where I am now, I cannot see him very, very nicely. So let me see if I can now try and reallocate and give sense of my camera operator some chance to give you a better visual. Did you hear that? That is Tingana horsing. That is Tingana sowing. That was lovely. He normally does this late afternoon when he's patrolling his territory. We are so very lucky to hear him doing this now. So let's see what he's thinking now. He is now letting everybody know that I am present in my territory. This is my land, and if you come in here, you will know me very well. I'm still very strong and kicking. Be very careful. He might be sending those kind of messages from that call. So now I am going to drive around and try to follow them and see if we can have a better sighting. As I was just about to do that, he started sowing, and then I had to stop so that we can enjoy his call. So both of them went towards the same direction. It's just that the termite mound, this big house of the termite mound, is difficult to see what is behind it. Maybe now when I'm driving towards that side, I might be able to see nicely. I can see it's now heading towards that side. So I'm just going to reverse to go around now and see if we can have. So now let's see, James is still on the move. He's driving I'm not sure what he's looking for now, as the last time I heard about James was while he was by the lion sighting. Let's see what is his next plan.
Looks at me. We are now looking for the leopards, Thandi and Tlalamba. Let's relay that to Siddiz in case he hears something about them, then he can give us that information. And we're now in the vicinity of our favourite little barred owlet that Sebastian and I found here a little while back. And let's see if he's around. Oh, there's a zebra. You see the zebra way across this canyon here. There it is. The great Birchall's zebra. Doesn't look particularly alarmed, terrified, upset. His friend is eating. It's really very pretty in this vegetation. Marvellous. Now, I don't remember when the last time we saw Thandi and Tlalamba was, but we haven't introduced them to anybody on the TV shows. We also haven't introduced Tingana to anybody on the TV shows. Hosana has performed twice. The Nkuhumas have performed once. No, the Nkuhumas have performed, yes, once. They've performed once. Hosana twice. The hyenas and the wild dogs once. That's from this end, of course. So let us move on and keep on our quest to see if we can't find Thandi and Tlalamba so that they might feature in tomorrow morning's show. I'm not sure that the barred owlet, if it is still here, would be particularly appealing to many of the people who watch the shows for the action might occur. Ooh, I thought they were twacks, but they are not. Let's see if our little barred owlet appears. It was around here, Seb, that he or she likes to spend a bit of time. Justin, that's an interesting question, not the easiest one to answer. That's a nyala, of course. The most beautiful bird call. Well, some people would tell you the fish eagle, but they're probably either not very familiar with some of the other calls, or they are nostalgic for their childhoods, or they're the sort of people that will use cliches like let the cat out of the bag. I find the fish eagle a very sort of cliched, overused call. In every single video you see, there's a fish eagle making its call. I love the robin's calls. I love the Cape Robin's call. I think it's beautiful. That's my favourite bird, the humble Cape Robin, believe it or not. I think the oriole's liquid calls are gorgeous. Very liquid, sort of, you know, golden liquid sound. And what else have a lovely call? Pearl-spotted owl's quite a nice call too, but it's not beautiful, I suppose. The green pigeon's a very soothing call to hear. I suppose I could play these for you. It's all very well my just telling you them, but if you've never heard them before, it's not going to be very helpful, is it? Let me play you the Cape Robin. A lot of the robins have got beautiful calls. The white-browed robin chat. I'll play you that one first. That's actually gorgeous. Listen to this. Isn't that nice? Then let's do the Cape Robin. The robins really have got it right. It's very pretty. And then I'll just play the orioles. They're gorgeous looking and singing. This is the black-headed oriole, the most common one we get here. See how liquid it is. That's gorgeous. Now we'll play the Eurasian golden oriole, which doesn't call here much. Listen to that. And I suppose I also quite like that of the humble turtle dove, the work harder, work harder. I can tell you the one I dislike the most, that of course is the hardy-dar ibis, which goes like this. Ah! 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 Look how distressed the poor Nyala is. It is the most offensive call. You see he's trying to imitate it, saying yes. Whoa, horrible. Also, I tell you what, there's one worse. The herons have got foul calls. I'll play you a grey-headed heron. Or grey heron, sorry. Not grey-headed. Let's have a look here. It's very unattractive.
It's like the lilac-breasted roller as well.
Yes, the lilac-breasted roller. Very good. Ah, Sebastian just saying there that it sounds a little bit like a lilac-breasted roller, which has a dreadful call for a bird so beautiful. And then Megan saying that hers is the black-bellied bustard, the champagne bird, which is a very nice call. Let's play that one for you quickly. Black-bellied bustard. Are you ready, everybody? That's gorgeous. And for those of you who don't know the lilac-breasted roller, who looks at the bird and thinks, gosh, that's a beautiful bird, and hasn't heard it call, well, listen to this perler. Ooh! Ooh! Dreadful. But I think the heron takes the cake. All right, Nyala, sorry about that. I haven't even spoken about you. But don't worry about it. You'll be okay. Let's go across now back to Buffelshoek Dam, where Hosana has stopped trying to be friendly to his daddy.
I have now detected that Hosana is hunting this afternoon. I have seen that he is looking everywhere, climbing the different termite mounds, moving the ears, the eyes, changing all directions. I am not really sure about what he just spotted here. So let me just try and reposition myself a little bit so that we can have a better visual, as he's now hiding behind the camera. He is behind one of the tree branches right in front of me. Can you see him better there, Senzo? Senzo can be able to spot him nicely from where he is now. So you can see that these cats, they prefer to use the termite mounds a lot. We have just seen Tingana on top of a termite mound. Now we've got Hosana on top of a termite mound. So they use this kind of termite mounds as an observation post in order to see what is happening in the area. And it's not easy to see them from the top of these termite mounds, as some of the termite mounds go some of the tall grasses. Like there where there's some grasses. It just match the surrounding. Look at that. This is beautiful. So I have just heard some of the alarm calls behind me from the kudus, showing that the kudus already picked up the presence of Tingana. He was also concentrating on those kind of warning calls, and Hosana as well earlier. He looks very much relaxed now. But when the head is up, it means he's not like about to sleep. When the head is down on the ground is when I can say now he's about to sleep. But now when he's just relaxed like that, anything can happen. Look at that. How fast they react. The wind is blowing too much. When the wind is blowing too much, I can see the ears keep moving a lot. These animals can hear very well. When the wind is blowing like this, I got disturbed, but they can be able to curve the ears. I can't do that. I've got to move the head. They can just move the ears. You can see he's even closing the eyes. The wind is accelerating a little bit. He is right on top. When on top of the termite mound is the wind, it gets there the most. Eagle spot, I didn't copy that question very well. Senzo, did you get that? I am not too sure, Eagle spot, if Tingana has never killed. I am not sure if Tingana has already killed any of the leopards here in Yuma, but the fights amongst the different leopards can be very much vicious, and some of them, they kill each other. When fighting for the territory, it can be very much tough. Look at that. Now he's very much relaxed. It doesn't look like an animal when it doesn't have a shape of an animal when it's lying down like that. That is why those spots are there for. Those spots are there just to serve as a disruption markings in order to avoid detection by their prey. It's very much easy to walk onto the leopard when it's lying down. You can see that it's almost flat. So I've never walked into a leopard lying down like that, but yes, to the lions, I've once been in a situation where I surprised them not knowing they were there. When I got there, I found all the lions, 6 lions were just lying down flat, and they all jumped and ran away. Look at that. Mr. King, the animals to see in color is something which is very much difficult, but they can easily detect, they can easily detect from the sense of smell. So in colors, some of the colors they battle. Yes, there is theories about animals being able to recognize some of the colors, whereas some they don't. So I'm not too sure if the leopards can be able to distinguish in between colors, but I know some of the animals has been recorded managing to distinguish between different colors. You can see now that Hosa is lying down as if he has been there for quite a long time. Rima, the termites, they are very, very, very much secretive. When they're doing their job under the ground, and they don't want these animals outside to see what they're doing. When they're lying on these termite mounds, termites don't come to fight. And obviously this is too big to fight against the termites. So when the leopard is walking on the termite mound, they know something is walking. They can be able to pick up a vibration from the top. This is how termites communicate. They communicate from the pheromones, and they also communicate from the vibration. If you tease the termites, they hold the ground and they vibrate. You will hear them doing something like that. Vibration can travel very fast and communicate with others. Once that is done, it means the soldiers must come to where the danger has been detected from and be standby while the workers will be busy bringing a lot of wet mud to close the gap. So they fight small predators while they're trying to also close the damage at the same time. So these leopards, they won't have a problem with them because they are not giving any sign of digging. But if the leopard tries to dig, you will see that is when they're going to get bitten. You mustn't forget that animals such as termites produce the reproductives. And the reproductive termites, they are eaten by quite a lot of animals, including cats. I have seen lions catching the flying termites. I've seen leopards catching the flying termites. They do eat these kind of insects, but they don't eat those soldiers because the soldiers can bite. But those ones, the flying ants, they bite, but their bite is not the same as the bite from the soldiers. So cats, they also depend on this kind of insects. So there is quite a very big competition between them and me, as I also eat the termites as well, and the flying termites. So you will see so we are going to be offline for a while, and my apologies for the inconveniences. We are just going to sort out some of the short technical programs. I will see you again just now.